Hey, what's up everybody? Live on Facebook. Happy Monday. I hope you like the headline. What is the single most important focus the very best agents you should have right now? If you don't have it, all you have to do is go online, look at your bank account, and it will be a reflection of a lack of this focus. Do I have your attention? I hope I do. It's Coach Tom Ferry. It's Monday. We're going into September, last week of August. We've got 4 months to close out the year. And the question is, what are you going to focus on? What is going to be that singular thing that in your business every single day you're obsessing over that's going to drive your results? What up, Coach Yvonne? Love you, my dear. Love you, love you. So check it out. I have been doing this for a long time. If I had to wave a magic wand, there's only one thing I'd ask you to focus on. If I reflected on, the 35 bazillion hours of private coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, consulting with CEOs, management teams, executive teams, mortgage, real estate, title, across the board, at the end of the day, there's just one thing that moves the needle, that makes everything else in the business sing. And that is the number of appointments you book on a weekly basis. Think about it. Think about it right now. It's Monday. Maybe it's Tuesday when you're watching this. You're not with me live. It's Monday. If you open up your calendar right now, if you look inside your phone and you don't see a bunch of, listing appointments, buyer appointments, initial buyer consultations, meeting with a past client for coffee to discuss a referral opportunity or the possibility of them putting their home on the market. If you don't have a schedule full of appointments like that, my friend, your business is in trouble. Matter of fact, I would even go as bold as to say that this week you're not even in business. Your business, this business of yours, the success of it is predicated on the number of times you're meeting face-to-face, belly-to-belly, video-to-video, however you do your appointments, every single week. It's that simple. I remember when I was coaching a guy named John McMonigal. John, 2 years into our relationship, became the #1 agent in the world. And when the Wall Street Journal was doing all that stuff as they do now, super impressive character, was already doing $140 million a year in sales when he came to me, referred by a couple other high-end clients who said, you might want to check this guy out if you're looking to tool your business. So we met one day at Gulfstream Restaurant in Newport Beach, kind of the kind of closest destination for he and I. And I said, tell me about your business. And he said, Tom, I focus on these luxury properties and I do all these deals. And he's a fantastic broker, really great agent. And I said, so, John, what's the thing that you love to do more than anything else? And he said, I love listing appointments. I love looking at great houses. I love getting in and presenting. I love showing them how I'm going to do it. I love the kill. I love the hunt. And I'm like, well, how often do you do that? And he was like, 3-4 times a week. And I was like, how many could you do on a daily basis? What do you have the stamina for, the energy for? He was like, the more appointments I go on, the better I feel. And as long as I can build the right back end to support all that, then I could go on 2 or 3 a day. I said, well, then why don't we make that the intention? And guess what, my friends? That's all we focused on, right? Making sure that the back end was organized, the number of presentations, the admin support, the CMAs being built, all the marketing plans, all that kind of stuff, which you know how to do. And we just declared 3 appointments a day, 3 appointments a day, 3 appointments a day. And I don't mean to make it sound like it's woo-woo, because it's not. It's not the law of attraction. It's simply this. Whatever you focus on expands. When you start carving your time in your day, focusing on how many appointments I'm going to go on versus what are all the things I need to do, which is the single worst question you could ever ask yourself, because your mind's going to go, oh my God, I got to follow up on this, and I got to follow up on that, I got to follow up on this, and I got to make sure this is ready, and I got a buyer coming in town in 3 weeks, and it's going to be Thanksgiving right around the corner, and I haven't booked my holiday vacation yet. And the next thing you know, you're working on a bunch of stuff that feels busy, but I call it the rocking chair syndrome. You ever sat in a rocking chair? There's a whole lot of movement, but you're not going anywhere. Be careful in your business. Don't be in the rocking chair syndrome with a whole lot of movement, but you're not going anywhere. You got to take control of what it is you focus on. Iris Hirsch, longtime client of ours. By the way, 2 years later, John was #1 agent in the world. And if you ask him, he's like, that was basically what he had me focus on. That was it. Sure, there was little management tweaks and adjustments and hiring and yada, yada later on. But it was just, dude, focus on appointments, which means make your calls, follow up on your leads, and be ferociously intentional about booking appointments. Schedule your day around booking and going on appointments. You got that? Schedule your day around booking and going on appointments versus the busy BS that rocking chairs your business and your savings into the toilet. Iris Hirsch, same thing. Great agent, moved from Detroit, as in Detroit, ended up in La Jolla, California, aka La Jolla, and we sat down and I'm like, so, who are you? What's your story? And I was, at that time working with Maxine Gellens and Greg Noonan and Susanna Corrigan and all these insanely, we're talking about literally in one office, 3 or 4 of the best agents in San Diego County, all my personal clients. I'm, down there and I'm doing my thing. And Nikki, who's the, insanely great leader there, said, hey, could you meet with Iris real fast? She's a total rock star, kind of only been here for a year or so, give her some advice. And I remember standing at the table of the prospect office of, I want to say at the time, Prudential, now Berkshire Hathaway. And I said, let me just show you something really fast. And I grabbed a piece of paper and I put a target, like a bullseye, like first ring, second ring, third ring, fourth ring, fifth ring. And I said, look, the human mind can only focus on one thing at a time, Iris. Only one thing at a time, right? Like I say, give me your parents' names. You go 1, 2, right? Even if it's in a split second, we can only have one dominant focus at a time. And what we know is the longer we can maintain one dominant focus, the more powerful we'll be, the more successful we'll be, the more the right stuff will get done. So I said, so here's the thing. What is taking up your mind space? And I made up a list. On the outside, it said drama, life, kids, dating, personal, health, yada, yada, who's sleeping with who, what's going on in the world of politics. Did you see what happened on CNN? And oh my God, right? All that shit, right? Drama. I said, if drama's taking up your mind space, are you going to do the middle one? And I pointed right to the middle one. It said closing transactions, like signed contracts, deals done. She's like, no, you definitely can't be focused on drama and do that. I'm like, right. I said, but let's look at the next inner circle. I said, if you go in one deeper from drama, guess what it is? It's called getting organized. There are so many real estate professionals, entrepreneurs, lenders, young hustlers that spend so much time getting ready to get going, to get started, that they don't do beep. You with me? Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? I think of diverting from Iris for a second, Carolyn Young, right? This incredible RE/MAX agent, we're talking 24-year veteran, selling, by the way, GCI $400,000 to $500,000 a year, totally myopic, only working her past clients in Sphere, standing at a sales edge event, role-playing her scripts and dialogues, watches a panel of people talking about multiple pillars of lead generation. And one of them said, boy, I work expired listings and here's why. And she said, it just hit me like a light bulb. There's no cost to this. It's just phone calls. I'm good at what I do. I'm going to make this thing happen. And in a 12-month span, this 24-year rock star veteran, look her up, Carolyn Young, RE/MAX in Maryland, check her out on Zillow, she doesn't look like a ferocious monster, right? She's not like an animal, expired, right? She just said, wait a minute, those people need help. And she just started calling. And did she get rejected in the beginning? Of course, right? Because everybody does, right? Matter of fact, your income at times is in direct correlation to the amount of rejection you get and what you do about it, right? It's a part of the deal, right? You say to your spouse, let's make love. They say no. You don't go, I'm never going to ask again. No, you're like, here's some Advil. How about a massage, right? It's the same thing. So guess what? She makes the phone calls. She starts booking appointments. She ends up booking 122 appointments, lists 116 houses. And again, we're talking cyclical, right? She ends up selling 62 of them and taking her $400,000 to $500,000 a year business to over $1 million in GCI. That was in 2017. In 2018, this year, if you're watching, Carolyn, so proud of you, gave her a huge shout out at the summit. She's going to do $2 million a year in GCI. And here's why. Because she's not focusing on getting organized. You with me? She's not focusing on getting organized. Stuff will get organized later. I need something else first to drive my business. That's what Carolyn got. So drama, getting organized. Then I said to Iris, the next inner circle is, ready? Making phone calls. And she was like, oh yeah, I need to make phone calls. I'm like, right. I said, but here's the problem. If you focus on making phone calls, You know what you get? You get a piece of paper with some chicken scratches, right? And you get some contacts and you talk to people and you make some phone calls. I know people that could call 100 prospects and never get anywhere. I know other people that can call 4 or 5 and book 2 appointments. What's the difference? I said, here's the next inner circle. She's like, I get it. Next inner circle was leads. And she was like, yeah, I need leads, right? Everyone needs leads, right? Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, leads. And I'm like, no. See, leads can actually be a problem. I said, we don't really want leads, right? Leads are people we have to continually follow up on. She's like, true, but where are you going with this? I said, I know people that literally, they do this. They're like, oh, here's my leads. I love my leads. I hold my leads. This one's an investor. They're going to buy a whole bunch of property from me. This one's going to list a really big house with me. And they just obsess over the lead or their leads. And guess what? Leads are great. But do me a favor. Why don't you take like 6 or 7 of your leads that are so valuable, that you love so much, and put them in an envelope and mail them to your bank and say, this should cover my next mortgage payment. Your bank's gonna look at you like you are a knucklehead. And it's the same thing I'm gonna tell you. It's not that leads are bad, but leads are not what we want. We don't want leads. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. You're like finding people that are interested in buying and selling real estate in 2018 anywhere around the world is pretty easy. Put a sign on, big sign, like I have properties that are not on the market, right? And someone's going to drive by and go, hey, I need your help. I mean, lead generation has been arbitraged. It's a no-brainer. You can get leads on Facebook for like $1. I mean, maybe even in the cents range. It's not leads. So I'm like, drama, getting organized, making calls, generating leads, and then I finally got to the one that I really wanted to talk about, which was booking appointments. And Iris was like, oh, yeah. If I focus on making calls, I'm going to make calls. If I focus on getting organized, I might eventually get organized, but probably not because I'm an artist and I'll never be fully organized. I'll just shuffle the paper from this side to that side. And then if I focus on leads, I'll get excited about and I'll start tallying up. You've done this before, you know you have. You start tallying up all of your leads and the prices and oh my goodness, if I sell them all and I do it, like how much money I'm gonna make, and let's start booking a vacation. We don't wanna do that. We wanna focus on appointments. That, my friends, is the leading indicator of a healthy sales business. The number of appointments you have in your schedule every week. So I've been talking about this for a couple minutes now. I don't know when I started, but I'm almost at the airport, so I gotta be mindful of time. As your coach, as your friend, as someone that wants to advise you, as someone that wants you to win, understand this. If you're in the US market, there are 1.3 million agents. There are only 43,000 that sell more than 25 homes a year. Let me say that to you again. If you are in the US market as a residential real estate professional, there are 1.3 licensed agents at NAR. We think there's somewhere around 3 million licenses, but at NAR, 1.3 million. And only 43,000, that's 3%, sell more than 25 transactions a year. I know a lot of them. 10% of that number are our coaching members, right? Selling way more than 25. I know this. As much as the sun goes up and the sun goes down, our clients focus on getting appointments, and that's why they win. And a whole bunch of them are on this right now, and they know it, right? They know that the more they focus on booking appointments, right, the more they win. At the summit this year, Ryan Swiderski, big shout out to Ryan, did a Tom X talk on last summit, the 2017 summit, where I challenged people to do the 100 appointment challenge. And not only did he achieve the goal and do the 100 appointments, he has completely transformed his business and his life forever. Business and life forever. Because he said, I'm going to set an intention to do something. It's not like I'm asking you to go climb Mount Everest. You with me? I'm not asking you to, run a marathon on Tuesday. I'm asking you to take your business seriously. I'm asking you to think about the consumer that's going to get stuck with some bozo, horrible agent, have another terrible experience when you could have solved it by just simply focusing on getting face-to-face with more people. Are you with me on this? The power of right focus. That's what it's all about. So I challenge you. No, I dare you. No, I double dare you to set an intention right now for September through December. How many appointments will you book for the year? How many, buyer, seller? Well, Tom, define an appointment. Is it, does it have to be a person who's going to list their house right now? No. It could be a meeting with someone you like who has the desire to talk about real estate and maybe do a transaction in the next 60 to 90 days. It could be that loose, because you know what? You do 100 of those, your pipeline is going to be so ripe. You're going to close so much business in the fourth quarter. And more importantly, when you start the next quarter of January 2019, your pipeline is going to be tremendous with all these people you've already met with that you're nurturing and following up on. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is make a declaration. And then number 2, get it up in visual. Start tracking and measuring. Get it on a visual wall board where you write out the names or whatever it is you want to do inside your home office, your office, but you got to track and measure, right? You got to have it up in visual. For my coaching clients, it's inside the hub. Yay, super easy. You and your coach know, using Contactually and everything else, right? Yay. For everybody else, right? You got to set the intention. Then you got to list it out. You got to track the whole thing. But understand this, the third part that is so critical. Why are you going to do it? See, Tony Robbins, longtime mentor, someone I've been exposed to many times and had the good fortune to work with, I will tell you that he says a lot of things that really resonate for me. And one is that reasons drive results. Reasons drive results. So let's say you say to yourself, I'm going to do 50 appointments between now and the end of the year. The reasons why you want to do it, the positive benefits, the negative consequences for not following through, the 10 positive benefits, like I'm going to make this much, I'm going to save this much, I'm going to pay off this debt, I'm going to put this cushion into the savings account, I'm going to feel better, I'm going to sleep better, I'm going to stop having to say to my family, we can't afford it, right? I'm going to start being more abundant, I believe in myself, this is my business, right? Positive benefits, and then the negative consequences. I'm going to tell my children that if I don't do the 50 appointments, no holiday gifts. Like if your mom or your dad is such a candy ass that they can't follow through on their profession, on their business, if they can't follow through in their business, none of you deserve anything. Like being that authentic and real, like you do that, and trust me, first of all, I have kids. They'd be like, Mom, did you book some appointments today? Dad, why don't we go knock on some doors together? Like, they're going to support you and do whatever it takes, but you got to have reasons why it is a must. Reasons why it's a must. And then guess what, my friends? When the reasons are strong, you're going to follow through. When the reasons are there, you're going to do whatever it takes, right? You're going to do whatever it takes. And that's what this is about. That's what this is about. Getting the right focus, making your declaration, creating your tracking, right? Your tracking and measuring of your success, and getting crystal clear on your motive for action, your reasons to go out and do it every single day. And then, my friends, at the very end, have a celebratory plan, because you will have earned it. Maybe for the first time in your business career, you pushed yourself harder than you've ever pushed yourself. You followed through at a level that you'd never followed through before. What's that going to do for your business self-esteem? What's that going to do for your business? How are people going to relate to you when all of a sudden you go from kind of all over the board, loosey-goosey, to suddenly a little more focused on what matters, serving more customers, helping people through arguably one of the most emotionally challenging decisions of their life, like selling and buying a home. Like when you get serious and committed to your business, what are people going to say? What are you going to say? How are you going to feel? What are you going to say to yourself every single day? That's what matters, my friends. That's what matters. So I got to bounce. Speaking of, I'm going to Atlanta right now. I'm going to go talk to my buddies at Berkshire Hathaway, Georgia Properties. I just took through the CEO of the company, Dan Forsman, genius leadership team, off the charts, management team across the board. There's a reason why they're the number one company out of all the company-owned stores. Berkshire Hathaway, number one out of all of them by a long shot. And here's the deal. Dan just had, I don't want to misquote the number, like something like 1,187 agents in the second, third, and fourth quartile of the company, broken down by office and into 4 teams. We're talking about, 1,100 agents. And they booked like 9,000 plus appointments in a 6-week competition. They had their single greatest listing month in the history of the company following that. escrows and closings and everything is just skyrocketing, and it doesn't include what his top 25% are doing. This was the second through the fourth quartile peeps, right? The brand new agents, the rookies trying to become rock stars, the veterans that needed to resuscitate their business, the people that have been on life support, the people that have been just, playing the game of real estate, selling 3 homes a year, selling 6 homes a year, but not really committed, right? They were interested, and we got them committed for a short period of time, and the results have been bananas. And I'm going to celebrate with them tomorrow and give them lots of recognition and put them on the next plan to do even more. Because you don't just do it for 6 weeks, you do it for the rest of your life. That's what the very best people do. Only 3% selling more than 25 transactions a year. You gonna join me in Club 3%? That's the deal. You gonna join me in Club 3%? Or are you satisfied with the scraps of the 97%? It's your call. I don't care what your price range is. I don't care how long you've been in the business. None of that stuff matters. What matters is the decision that you make watching this video. Love you. Out.